Good evening, everybody. Richard Morwood here from VEMA Trader. Thank you so much for coming along tonight on this lovely Wednesday night to learn about finding your edge in the market. So there is a Q&A available inside the Zoom. If you press the Q&A button, feel free to fire off any questions you'd like there. I'm always happy to answer them, particularly as we go along. And if it's someone I don't quite get the question to, I'll happily unmute you as well if you'd like that, so that we can talk about it. Rightio, so let's jump in. So the fun stuff. Do you find yourself as a trader? If you're here, I'm assuming that you are a trader, but you've got some problems. So if you find yourself in your trading journey lacking time because your alerts go off at all kind of fun hours of the day, the crypto markets at 24/7. I remember I got a lovely alert when I was on a date with my wife, and darling, can we just pause this date for a second so I can check my trade? Wasn't quite the best answer I wanted to go for when that alert went. So I missed that trade. Life gets in the road all the time, So do you also find yourself as a trader struggling with data analysis? So you're doing all these trades and you want to know, where are you doing well and where are you doing wrong? How can you identify where you need to improve in? Maybe you've got yourself some poor discipline. I know when I first started trading, I certainly had the problem of I would do my technical analysis, I'd set up my trade, I would take the entry, and then price would go against me. And I'd sit there thinking, no, my technical analysis was correct. Instead of just cutting the trade and letting it die, I'd move my stop loss further away because I was correct. This was going to go up. And that was just very, very poor discipline. So if you've ever had that kind of problem before, increasing the risk when you shouldn't be, also a bad thing to happen. I've got a lovely solution here for you as well. And if you find yourself with just too many tools, we call it trader's fatigue here at VEMA, when there is just, you're using about 5 or 6 different tools to be a trader. You're using TradingView, your journal, you're probably using a written journal as well. You've got to go to the exchange and the position size calculator, maybe using some indicators. Oh my goodness, you've got to flip around the place as you're trying to trade. And when you're dealing with money, live trading, it just adds more to the stress of, if I make a keyboard mistake here, something's going to go wrong. I need to get into the trade as fast as I possibly can to make sure I get my entry correct and get the best price. It can be really, really stressful. So if you're not like a technical wizardry person, I've been using computers basically from the day I started to learn to walk, and I still find trading to be stressful sometimes, switching between everything. So we've got you covered. We have got a wonderful tool that can absolutely save you time. You draw your lines. Yeah, I love the way that one of our customers, Matt Forrester, put it. You draw the lines, you drink the wines. Just make it chill out and automate the boring bits. Reduce stress and anxiety. Instead of having to check or not having to, but you wake up, you're stressed, it's 4 a.m. and did your alert go off? What's the price? How's my trade going at the time? You just don't have to do that with using VEMA Trader. You just set and forget and know that all your orders and your entries are going to be taken care of for you. We encourage good habits through our tool because you are unable to move your stop loss into an even worse position. You set your risk and you know that you should be journaling, and it's built into VEMA Trader. We've got you covered with this one single all-in-one platform. No need to switch between 25 different applications. Do it all in the one spot. And so that is what we can do for you with VEMA Trader. So VEMA Trader is an integrated trading platform that helps you to visualize, execute, monitor, and analyze your trading performance. Saves you time because you have to just chart the order and the trade and the entry conditions one time in one platform. And when it's time to take the entry, VEMA will automatically do your risk calculation, your position size management. It will set up all the exchange orders for you in an instant. It's wonderfully, and you are fully in control at all time. We've never said that VEMA Trader is a magic bot. Use VEMA Trader and it's going to make you crap tons of money, because that's not the case. It's going to improve your trading, but you are still the trader. It's still your trade, your analysis. You are always in complete control of everything VEMA does. And it also will improve your trading by helping you analyze your data and find, where are you going well, where are you going wrong, where do you need to change. So the name VEMA Trader, it comes from the idea of continuous improvement. The team and I are software developers. And in there, you've got this idea of continuously improving your program. Well, we thought, why not take that and apply that to our trading? First thing you do as a trader is you would visualize your trade plan setup using charts. We're built over the top of TradingView. So if you're used to using TradingView, you feel right at home inside of VEMA Trader. When it comes time to execute your trade, VEMA will execute the trade for you. If you want to press the enter button whenever you want, you're in control. Feel free to press that button whenever you would like to. While your trade is in action, you can monitor the trade, manage the trade, move your stop losses, take profits around, and manage your trades. And over time, as you have built up more and more trades, as you've done them over time, you can then use them as built-in journaling and analysis tools to analyze where you're going well, where you're going wrong, what patterns are working for you, what days of the week are not the right time, is the wrong day of week to trade for you. And then go ahead and use all that information to do better visualization, leading to better executions, better monitoring, more analysis, enabling you to continuously improve even further. And so that's where the name VEMA Trader comes from: visualize, execute, monitor, and analyze. And the customers we have are absolutely loving it. Oh man, I'm loving VEMA Trader right now. I feel like I'm trading more now with no emotion. That's the huge one. I love that one. This is just life-changing software. It has helped my trading so much. I'm much more profitable now. I love our customers. So I'm honestly baffled more people aren't already using VEMA Trader. These are all quotes taken from our Discord community as well. So no, not ones that are made up. You can go to our Discord and verify the people who are saying them. I love it when people tell us that they are trading more now with less emotion. That's wonderful. And I'd hate to have to trade without VEMA Trader now. So it's a pretty damn wonderful tool when you can smush everything into one. So what I want to show you tonight is how VEMA Trader helps with your risk management and how journaling should just be easy. Like when I first started trading, it was VEMA, it was journaling. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, I do the trades. Everything's in my head. I'm the one who plotted it. I'm going to remember everything. That's not how it works. As I discovered after too long, it took me to realize that. And then when I started to journal my trades and analyze my trades and actually look back through my screenshots, what was I seeing versus what actually played out? Very, very big differences with what my learnings were there. So death by PowerPoint is not something I like doing. Let's jump over to see VEMA Trader in action, which is this lovely thing right here. And that button should make it full screen. If you have any questions as we go along, guys, again, just throw them into the Q&A. That is perfectly fine. I've got my eye on the Q&A. Let's see. So when you first log into VEMA Trader, what do you see? The UI as it stands on the dashboard screen right here. So here we can see all the trades that I've taken on this particular demo account. I can filter them by live or paper. I can see how profitable I've been over the past whatever time range I've got selected. And down the bottom, if I scroll down, I can see my existing trades. These ones are all closed, except this one, that's monitoring. Let's have a look at that one later. And so you can at a glance see what is the status of these trades. Now they've already closed, so we can see that that one didn't take an entry. There's no red or green on it. This one lost. No point trying to hide from your losses. You can either learn from the losses or pretend they didn't happen. May as well learn from them. This one here closed a little bit in profit. This one here closed a bit more in profit, which is great, hit its final take profit target. And this one here, we moved the take profit quite a lot away and then exited the trade. So at a glance, we can just look at the dashboard, immediately go, that's what's happening. Great, and move on with our life. So up in the top right-hand corner, I've got the start charting screen. That is where all the fun stuff happens. So let's go and start charting. If you have used TradingView at all, which if you're a trader, then you've probably heard of TradingView and are using it quite regularly, it is damn good software. VEMA Trader is built over the top of TradingView. So by using VEMA, it's not a new tool to learn. It's just adjust the way that you are already doing things, which is pretty cool. Over in the top left-hand side, we've got which exchange we're connected to. VEMA is currently connected to BitMEX and OKX, and we are currently working on Forex integration through MT4. Ooh, that's very exciting. Should hopefully be here by end of May, June. We'll see what other roadblocks we pop into, but yes, I'm super excited about that one. Rightio. So you'll also notice here that on the regular TradingView, all the usual tools and the and indicators, if you want to go and add another indicator, feel free to just throw another one on there. Let's add on a moving average as well. So yeah, just keep on going nuts and adding more indicators if you'd like. Personally, I'm not a fan of using them all, so I'm going to remove everything and have myself a nice, clean, sexy, clean chart. If you just want to get into a trade straight away, like you're looking at this part here right now on Bitcoin, and you go, hey, on Bitcoin, I can see we've had a big run up. I can see that we've hit a resistance area here. I can see that price has gotten above resistance and been rejected by it. Oh, you know what? I don't want to wait for anything extra. I am here to take a trade right now. Got the quick entry over on the left-hand side. We can come here, choose between paper or live. This account is a paper trading account. I just have to come here, choose my direction of, well, in this case, short. If you want to go long, go for that. Go for short, take my stop loss, put it into position, and that's all I need to do. I can go ahead and just press enter now, and everything will be good to go, and it would take the trade. I don't want to catch him tongue there, Richard. I don't really want to take this trade right now, though. I'd prefer to wait for something to happen. But you can go ahead and take a quick entry, and everything is sorted for you nice and quick. So I'm going to, you know what we can do? Nah, let's not do that. Let's just press cancel. So you can get in super quick. And all I had to do there was choose the direction, set the take profit stop loss. All of the risk management was actually taken care of for me there. But let's do another thing here. Let's make this one a bit more interesting. Let's say that we think that price is coming up to this resistance area, and we think that price is going to break past our resistance, and we want to see it break and then come back and retest this resistance that is now support before we take an entry and launch a rocket to the moon. To do that, I can come over on the left-hand side where I've got trigger, and I can now draw in a trigger. I'll click on add, and now I just drag and go and make it go horizontal. Just as a quick tip on that one, if you want to have your trend line, it's not quite horizontal, it's not quite flat, it's irritating me. Hold the shift key when you move your chart or when you move the object around, and that'll just force it to be a flat line. If you go too high, it'll make it a 45-degree. But hey, now I know I've got myself a horizontal line. And so I am going to go ahead and set up a trade, a break and retest trade off this alpha line. Now, before we get too far ahead there, if you were to be looking for a downtrend, then VEMA triggers work perfectly fine with sloped trend lines as well. So we'll cover that one in a second. So now that we've drawn a trigger, we haven't told it what to do and when to do anything with it. So I'll come to my setups here and I'll choose add. Now I can say which trigger I want this to poke to or I want to play with. I'd love to play with the alpha trigger. I want to go for a direction and I want to go long on this one. If price gets above my alpha trigger, then I want to take an entry and hope for price to go up further. And my strategy here, I'll choose my strategy will be a break and retest. So you'll see here, V for VEMA, V for visualize, it's added a few extra pieces onto the chart here. It's added in this lovely green, this blue line here that says, I want to see price break and then retest. If I move my alpha trigger up a bit more, you might see that a bit better. There we go. We can see the break is going to happen and then it's going to come back and retest it. But let's put that alpha back where it was, about there-ish. All right, so now I'll move my stop loss a bit higher, say just below these little wicks here, and I'll move my take profit up to this resistance area that I'm looking at over on the left-hand side. Now, what this strategy is now saying is wait for price to break and get a candle close above the alpha trigger, above my horizontal line. But where it said to do it is it's just pick this arbitrary 4% number. That's massive. I don't want to do that. Let's pick a 0.5, so a 0.5%. And you'll see here that that blue line has now come much lower. So we can see price has to come up here before it comes back down to retest the trend line, before it comes back to test the alpha line. And so now that's pretty cool. There's some other conditions we could go on add on here. A good one that I love to always use is the expiry date. So that has now added an expiry date time over onto the left-hand side, and it's added this vertical line onto the chart. So I can say, you know what, if this doesn't happen within the next, let's say 24 hours, this trade should automatically kill itself. I'm expecting a pretty quick break and retest here at this point. I mean, I am on the 4-hour chart, so I've given myself a few candles there. Maybe I think it might not happen until over on this date in the future. What's that? The 29th. Just click and drag it on the chart. Instead of having to type everything on the left, we want as much as possible to be onto the chart. Whoa, that's not the correct button. So there are other conditions that we can add in here as well. A really good one that I also like to use is the distance to invalidate percent. This one here says if price comes up, I'm going to move my chart over a bit more. give myself some more breathing space. If price was to come above this alpha trigger, what if it comes back down here and it doesn't break? It doesn't bounce off my alpha. What if it just comes up and then says, nah, and falls back through? Like resistance just didn't hold itself as support. Price just shot straight back down the other way. What I don't want to have happen is price to come up, come down, and then go back up again and take the entry. That wasn't a break and retest. That was a break and bounce in the pool and go for a swim before it goes up, decides to get out of the pool. So I'm going to add in here a distance to invalidate of let's just pick a number. If it was to bounce above that line and then fall down, let's say maybe another 0.5%. I'm just holding shift clicking to draw myself a little box, a measuring box. It's a little shortcut for TradingView, 0.5. So if price was to get above this alpha line and then not hold on resistance now turning into support, then it will automatically cancel this trade and say, nah, no trade. That does not follow your trade plan. So with that, this trade is now technically finished and good to go. But there are some extra things that we can do inside of VEMA Trader, which is more interesting. You'll see here that the add button is not actually working right now. That's because I've set up on this account the journal that must be mandatory. So I can come in here and it's going to tell me, hey, you haven't filled in your journal and you haven't added in some tags. So I'm going to add in here and say price has, you know what, let's use the voice message part here. Price has for, God, allow. There we go. Stop. Helps if you were set up for that one, Richard. Let's try that again. Price has fallen down to 27,000, but then it's bounced its way back up. And now it's hitting resistance at 28,800 area-ish. I want to see price break above 29,000 and then retest alpha, giving me a lovely break and retest because I believe that resistance should turn into support, giving me a better entry for a trade. You could type all of that in, or you could just type for a dragon. I'd love to get a dragon. No, we should turn that into a trade. If anyone was wondering, it had gotten a typo down here, dragon. Let's make it a dragon trade. We'll change that over. So now the reason for these, if putting a journal in here, is always leave yourself a note. I can definitely tell you that people who use journaling inside of VEMA, who were leaving notes for what they were looking at and what they were seeing and why they were going to take a trade, they are the more profitable traders inside of VEMA Trader. Absolutely, the data tells us that. The other thing we can do here is we can add in some tags. So VEMA is automatically adding in a whole bunch of tags for us. It's tagging, was it a paper trade, a live trade, what direction, what strategy were we using, which of these options and entry conditions were we using. Tell me more about risk management in a second, Richard, and all the different things that are automatically going to be tracked for us there. Yes, I will, good sir. But then we can also come in here into our tags area and write our own tags as well. So I'm going to call this one a resistance trade because VEMA is not aware that it is a resistance trade. So I'll put that in there. I want to see resistance get broken, resistance break. So I can add in a new tag. I haven't used this one before, but I want to start tracking how well I can trade against resistance breaking. So I can add in a new trade. Let's say that I was looking at this and it was an ascending triangle, just as an example's sake, there was a lovely triangle coming up here. Then I could also say that this was a triangle trade. How well do I trade triangles overall? And you know what? This is an ascending triangle. So I can come in here and see how well do I trade my ascending triangles as well. If you were using, let's say, an EMA. So let's put an EMA cross in there. No, not EMA cross, sorry, just moving average exponential. There we go. Say that your analysis, I'm now playing with how well I can trade the EMA 50. So what you could do there is put in here EMA 50. And now you can track how well do I trade when I'm using the EMA 50 in my analysis as well. So you can really try to hone in and see what's working for you and what's not. I'm not using EMA on this, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I'll play cleanup on some of my drawings as well. I don't need these little blue bits that I use to draw around. All right, I don't need this guy as well. You can go away. Clean up. So there we go. I'm also very happy to be on this call. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this Wednesday night. So very happy ninja that I am. As you'll see here, the add button is now satisfied. Yes, you have given me a journal. I have got my one set up here that it forces me to put a journal in there, which is a wonderful one. All right, but let's go back to risk management here for a second. All I had to do was just kind of set the stop loss, set the take profit, and VEMA's it's going to figure out the position size for me. But what position size, how much of my account is it going to risk us? So I can come into the risk management section here, scroll down, and it's automatically defaulting itself to risk 1% of my account. So that means that if I get the entry and price comes down to my stop loss, then when the trade exits, I will lose 1% of my account. If that is a $10,000 account, which is what VEMA's paper trading bases all of its calculations off, then I will be losing $100. If I was to change that up and say, I want to risk 5% of my account, VEMA is going to warn you and say, look, maybe you should use between 1 and 3 there. But hey, there are some people who have valid reasons for going big. Then we would therefore be losing $500. But if it was to go ahead and shoot up and hit our take profit, which is wonderful, and we all hope that will happen, then it's going to be whatever the account risk percent is times our risk to reward. So if we go to the 1% account risk, that would be a 4.13 to 1 trade. So I'm risking 1% of my account to gain 4.13% of my account. So 4% gain, which is pretty awesome that it just automatically calculates all that for you. Here we've got the stop loss and the take profit of the stop loss values. Just drag them on the chart when you want to interact with them. You know, I want this to be specifically at 428,400. You're welcome to type it in if you want, and it'll move it on the chart, or just drag it around where you want it to be. I'm going to get rid of these drawings as well. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. How? I don't know where I dropped out, and that's concerning.
You were removing the lines.
I was playing cleanup.
And moving your stop loss, your take profit green went up and down.
Oh, am I glad you're on this call. Thank you very much, Kate. All right, cool. So what I was talking about there was after cleanup was how you can set multiple take profits. And so pretty easy to do. Just come to your take profit area, click on add, and that will then go ahead and add another take profit on there for you. But the fun part about this is VEMA's going to automatically do all the position size calculations for you. So if you were, let's say that you entered a trade and VEMA figured out that it was going to be 100 contracts for that account risk. When you go ahead and set your take profits here and say, you know what, I want to take like 40% off the table if the trade was to reach this area, just drag the little slider over here on each individual take profit, and VEMA will then whinge at you and say, hang on, look, there's 100% of the position. You need to deal with the whole 100%. So then we can just, well, I need to get that to be a 60-40 trade. As you then move all these around, no matter how big your position size is, VEMA's just going to figure out what all these trades should be for you, which just massively simplifies things and lets you just focus on your technical analysis. Let's see. So just to really ram that home here, I come down to the estimates section. Most of the time, I don't even look at this thing. In fact, the only reason I look at this estimates area now is when I'm doing a demo for people to show them that we do the estimates. Skip all that stuff, focus here on the position size and the leverage. You'll see as I move my stop loss around, VEMA will recalculate the position size and the leverage and say, hey, all of this has been done for you. All you've got to do is focus on your technical analysis. You'll also notice here the P&L when you do lose is going to be 1% of your account. When you do lose, if you were to lose a trade, would be 1% of your account. We get it as close as we can to 1%, and then the exchange has some trading fees on there. They're not VEMA's, they're the exchanges. So those fees should be as close to $100 as they can be. I'll move my stop loss around, and the trade is still going to be close to $100 loss if my if my stop loss was to be hit. And then VEMA's going to go, hey, 7 contracts, I'll figure out what to do with the take profits for you as well. So that's wonderful how all of that is just magically taken care of. I'll move that a bit closer. And yeah, that's pretty great. So I can add on that trade, and then I can go ahead and press submit, and VEMA would take that trade for me. But you know what? Just because we're looking at this and we're on a trading interface, I'm going to come to the triggers area. I'm going to add a trigger, and I'll click up here and I'll do a downtrend as well. Let's pretend that we think price is going to come up to our Bravo area, hit Bravo, and then shoot off and fall back down. That's a good time for us to take a short because we've got touch 1, touch 2. So we've got, if the third touch comes up here and hits it, then that's going to give us the confirmation of this trend being a new downtrend, and we're going to want to short that. So let's go to add over here on the setups area. We'll choose our Bravo trigger. Now we've got more than one. We have to choose which one we want. I'll say I'll go for a short here and I'll use a bounce. And so now VEMA says, all right, price is going to come up here to the Bravo and then it's going to fall down. Now you'll see it's got the stop loss and the take profit that's been added on here. But hang on, I'll put my take profit down here. Where's my entry going to be? I don't exactly know where my entry is going to be in this. VEMA's put it on that point to say, look, we're just arbitrarily saying we want to visualize what's going to happen. Price is going to come up, hit Bravo, and then fall down. But a small problem with this is what if the entry happens all the way over here? Our take profit is at this level. Our stop loss is set at a particular level. What's that going to do to our risk to reward? It's going to become a 1.3 to 1 trade. Maybe that's not good enough for what we want to take. And so there's two things we can do about that here with VEMA Trader. Number one, in the risk management section is your minimum risk to reward. Hey, VEMA, I'm going to set up this trade, but if it doesn't meet my minimum risk to reward of at least 3 to 1, no matter what the entry signal is, don't take the trade because it doesn't meet my trade plan. And so we can just set this up and let VEMA figure it out. And if the entry doesn't happen until over here, VEMA's going to go, nah, mate, that's not a 3 to 1. I'm not going to take the trade, and I'll tell you about it. So it'll send you an email and say, I didn't take it. Your risk reward wasn't met. And so I just didn't do it. The other thing that we can do about that is the stop loss strategy. I've got a stop loss strategy of fixed here. You'll see as I mouse over all the inputs, the little tooltip's going to pop up and say, this is what this thing does. So I can choose a stop loss strategy of other side of trend line. And now I can say that stop loss should be 1% on the other side of the trend line, no matter where the entry happens. So at this point, if the entry was to happen here, our stop loss will be 1% above our trigger. If the entry was to happen all the way over here, so price just bounced off our Bravo line at that point, then that's going to move our stop loss 1% away. And instead of being a 1.3 to 1 trade, because that stop loss is going to be a dynamically placed value, that's now going to be a 5 to 1 trade for us. And then at the entry time, hang on, how do you make that go from a 1.3 to a 5 to 1 trade? Well, that's going to have a different position size allocated to it as well. And so VEMA is going to automatically take care of that position sizing for us as well, which is wonderful. I'm not going to set up that trade though. I could just press the button and it would be done. But then I got to fill out another journal and I don't want to do that right now. All right, so quickly checking the chat that I said I would keep an eye on, and I didn't. Anonymous attendee says, could be great to have a line to move as distance to invalidate on the chart instead of calculating the percent, or at least a visual on the chart. Yes, anonymous attendee, I completely agree. That is why that is on our roadmap. And as soon as we get through Forex integration, I am massively looking forward to coming back to our roadmap and getting a lot more of these features in there. I hear you on that one, man. I absolutely hear you and agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. Let's see. Beth Jennings says, can you explain the leverage step? The leverage you are referring to would be, I'm going to have to set up another trade. Let's set up that short Bravo again. Add a trade, Bravo, short, and let's go bounce. Just get this whole thing set back up again and come into the risk management. Beth Jennings, I believe you're probably referring to this part, the position size and the leverage and what the leverage is. So leverage is a way that futures market works on the exchange. It says, how about you don't risk the full amount of your account to make this position happen? How about you give me a little bit of the position and the exchange will give you the rest of the money for the exchange that are for the position. They'll lend you the money for the exchange for the trade. So when that happens, that is how we can get ourselves the position sizes that need to be large enough to get our stop losses particularly tight if we want to do that. You'll see here, as I bring my stop loss closer, my leverage is probably going to increase as well, from 35 to 77 and then 77 to, oh God, 125x leverage. That's a much bigger position size. I don't really go that close because there's so little wiggle room in there, but maybe you're a scalper and that's what you want to do. So what that's going to mean for you as the leverage comes up, as you're borrowing more from the exchange is going to say, hey, if price goes against you, then I'm going to want to stop losing money for the exchange. And so they're going to put a liquidation price there. Now, VEMA has a liquidation protection happening as well. So when we calculate, look, based on that leverage, your liquidation would be here. That's too close for our comfort. VEMA is going to go ahead and de-leverage your position until we figure out what is going to be the best position size and leverage combination that gets you to your risking your 1% of your account. And so a big thing about that one, I'm getting off track here. But a lot of people will say, oh no, leverage is bad because it's going to increase my fees. Leverage is bad because it's going to increase my chance of liquidation. In VEMA, both of those are bollocks. The way that the fees of all trades are based off the position size. Leverage just says, help me reach that position size. So it doesn't actually increase your fees. It also doesn't not increase your profit and loss in any way, shape, or form. It just says, don't use my full account to make this trade happen. Exchange and give me a bit more money on the margin side of things. It's about as much detail as I can go into this one for you, Beth. If you shoot me a question over after this, I would be quite happy to go into more detail for you though. Kate Nelson, when paper trading, are fees shown? Absolutely. This here is a paper trade. And you can see that fees are shown right here. The reason we show fees for paper trades is so that when the time comes and you do go to live trading, you'll see here I've got a risk to reward of 5.1 if the take profit gets hit, hooray. But we also want people to know that there are fees involved for trading. And when you go ahead and do switch to live trading, those fees are going to impact your risk to reward. So it comes here from a 5.1 to 1 trade. Hooray, take fees off. It's now a 4.57. Now that particularly pops up when people get into scalping. God, look at this. It was a 36 to 1 trade. That's amazing. I'd be happy with that one. But I'd be very happy with that one. When the fees are taken out of there, that is going to work out to be a 20 to 1 trade. So all of a sudden they've lost 16% account growth because of the fees. Like, what? I don't want to be caught out by that. I want to know about that up front. And so the short answer, when paper trading, do you get to see the fees? Yes, you absolutely do. Kara says, is a trigger an alert? No, a trigger is not an alert, but it can be. So what you can do is come to Bravo, let's say a short, and I could say a bounce. Here in my add conditions, I can say, tell me when this price has reached the entry. Tell me when my entry conditions have been met. Just send me an alert. Because you know what? Maybe I want to see a particular candlestick happen before it takes the entry. So you can set an alert, but by default, triggers are not alerts. They are entry conditions, but add the alert and it will then tell you, hey, price is hit here. This is ready for entry. Kara, it is up to you to come along and press the enter button when you're ready. Let's see. Anthony Galloway, paper trading is based on a USD $10,000 account. Yes, good sir, it is based off a $10,000 account. In fact, if you come up into the top right-hand corner where you've got your wallet section showing, this will show you the balance of all the exchanges. And here I've got a paper trading account. And so it says, hey, you've got $10,000. If you are trading on BitMEX, then you have a 1 Bitcoin in your account. Hooray. And if you are trading Ethereum, then you've got 10 Ethereum to play with as well. So we need a something to work for the fees, for the position sizing. Let's give it $10,000 because the math is easy. Rightio. So I have now set up a break and retest trade off this. I'm going to get rid of this guy and play cleanup on some of these other drawings. There we go. Get rid of that. And I'll submit this trade. Hey, are you sure you want to submit your trade plan? Yes, I am. So that will now go off to VEMA's backend, and where VEMA will be monitoring the trade in real time. And here we can see what is the status of this trade. Now this one is not opening right now, but it gives me an idea to go to the, let's say it's been a couple of days and we come back to our trade and we decide, you know what, did we get that break and retest? What was this trade? I forgot all about it. We can come and look at this trade, click on the BTC, and here is all the details that we set up against this trade. Here is all of our original drawings are still in place. I'll take profits of them, and you'll see up in the top left-hand corner up here, I've got a journal. Every single thing that VEMA does to your trade will be journaled. If VEMA decides to take an entry, it'll journal it. Whenever we speak to the exchange, we will go ahead and journal it. Whenever anything happens, we're going to journal it there for you. And so here we can see what my journal was. I was What was I looking for? I was looking for price of, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I look at this trade and that still makes sense. Oh, wow, look at that. We've got the break. Yeah, cool. We've gotten the break. So now we just need price to come back and retest it. Awesome. So I could leave myself an extra note now. We've got the break. Woohoo, follow along with it. And so you'll see here, it's also got a screenshot. Every single thing that VEMA does, when you do it, it's going to take a screenshot and show it there for you as well. What was I looking at the time? Wow, I was looking for a break and retest there. What was I thinking? Oh, no, perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. So everything you do journaling here, leaving yourself notes what you're looking for. Very, very good idea. I need a drink break for just a second. Delicious water. Rightio. So up here, you can also come and add to yourself some extra notes on there. I can't think of another note that I want to add right now, but if I wanted to, I could add another tag as well. Add tags whenever you'd like to. So here is an existing trade. Now let's go look at the analyze section. I'm just looking where I'm up to on the time. And wow, Richard, you would just keep talking, don't you? You need to move on with it. So I'm going to come to the analyze section up the top here. We've been doing all of our trades. Let's go check it out. So here I can analyze my trading performance. And of course, I've set this one up to make me look good. So analyzing trades, my ascending triangles. How well do I trade ascending triangles? When I look at these strategies and I combine all the times that I have used an ascending triangle with a direction of long, awesome, I'm profitable. This particular strategy makes me money. Oh, wow, it's got a 60% win rate. Nice. And when I do this trade, I'm looking for an average risk to reward of 3.4 to 1. So that's pretty cool. I've grown my account 7% from using this strategy. Fantastic. That sounds like a pretty good strategy that I should continue to address and really, really play on with. Whereas if we look at how well I have particularly been trading BTC, just Bitcoin, while it is a profitable thing for me to trade Bitcoin on this account, I have got an expected value of 0.12. So what the expected value means is for every dollar that you put onto a trade, you can expect this much of a return based on all the trades that have happened in this set of trades. So this has happened over 27 trades. It has accounted for 10.8% of the account growth, which is pretty awesome. But if we look at it, it's only got a win rate of 37%. Now, that's pretty cool. Nothing to scoff at there, 37% win rate. But a 37% win rate with a pretty small risk to reward is not really going to make me very profitable over time. In fact, it shows here in the expected value not being that high. So if I was looking at these, what am I looking for? What's one's got the best expected value? That's where I should be really focusing my attention on. Oh, right, 60% win rate. And I take, don't take very many of these. I've taken 5 of the past year. But hey, let's go look for more ascending triangles. But what we could also do is we can add another analysis. Click on add here and let's see how well, you know what, I want to focus today just on my losses. I want to see where I've been losing and I want to analyze why. And so just losses. Included tags here, all the different tags that I have added in myself with user tags on there. Scrolling down for a while longer, we can see what account, how well do I go live trading versus paper trading? How about those different entry conditions that I can add on to the trade? How well am I, what was my confidence level when I set up these trades? How well do I trade on Mondays versus Tuesdays versus Wednesdays? I can tell you what, my trading on Fridays sucks, apparently. I'll show you that in a second. How well do I go for directions, long versus short, because I'm a perma bull. So maybe longs is the way for me to go. Hasn't been a great year. Which exchange do I try? I mean, there's so many stuff that VEMA's tagging here. Look at how much we've only gone past. How well do I trade on the 15 minutes versus the 4 hours versus the dailies? Where is my money maker with my trades? So all you've got to do with VEMA is just trade, just set up the trades, and VEMA is going to automatically tag all of these things for you. So I want to focus just on my losses. So I can type in here, loss, scroll down, and I'll see trade outcome loss. Click on that one and save. That adds this new analysis here. And is it profitable? Well, I'm focusing just on my losses, so I would expect that it would not be profitable. And we can see here the expected value of these is close to 1% loss for every dollar that we put on there, which is exactly what we'd expect it to be. You can see here, there are 32 trades that have happened, and they have accounted to me losing 30% of my account or 29% of my account. That's exactly what we think should happen with these. So let's go and look at them. I want to pay attention to why I'm losing so I can analyze why I'm losing and find where I can be going better. Let's look at my losses here. Yes, it's a sea of red. But you know what? Now I can go and see every single trade that has gone on and gone to a loss, or every trade that has been an ascending triangle, every trade that has been using the bounce strategy, every trade that has been using a Fibonacci. How well am I trading Fibonacci? By using your tags, you can analyze exactly where you're going wrong. So now I can click on these and go, let's go and look at this trade. I don't even know what it is, so this is gonna be a weird one. Click on there and see what the results was. What was this trade looking for? If I just leave it for a second, and you'll see all the things got added onto the chart. Great. So this is now tells you there was an entry at this point. Price did not hit take profit 1, did not hit take profit 2, and went and hit your stop loss. And so now from here, I can go and look at my journal and go, what was I looking for here? I was looking for an ascending triangle. When I created the trade here, I've got my alpha. Oh yeah, there was an ascending triangle happening in this space here. If we break above resistance, then let's go long. Great, OBV is looking strong. Awesome. Oh, hang on. What did I do wrong on this trade? The ascending triangle finished before I took the entry. Oh my goodness. So I can come in here, leave myself a note. Don't forget to use an expiry date. This trade should not have been entered because we had already broken the triangle. You're spelling correctly. Leave yourself notes, tell yourself where you went wrong, and identify what you did wrong and how you can improve it. So there's a wonderful example of that one. But what we can also do is go, you know what? I know that my ascending triangles is where I'm doing pretty good here. Where did I go wrong with my ascending triangles? So I can look in here and go, oh, somehow this ascending triangle didn't play out. And so we can really narrow down on our data and see what's happening. All right, let's go back to analyze. And what else is in this list here? Longs. Oh, wow. I told you I'm better on a permeable. Yes, versus my shorts, better at a long. And bad habits are a fun one to track as well. Bad habits when you move your stop loss too early. Here we go. Check it out. Tuesdays. Richard's day for trading is Tuesday. Richard's day for trading is not Friday. I hope that shows you what you can do with tags and analysis and analyzing your data inside of VEMA Trader can be a lot of fun. And you know what? Analyzing your data can be a bit of a complicated thing. People might not be sure of where to start. So as a customer, if you have any questions and you just want to get some help analyzing your data, finding where you're going wrong or where you could improve, get in touch with us. Support at VEMA Trader. Message us on Facebook or however else you can get in touch. We would absolutely love to spend some time with you, finding out where you're going, how you could be improving, how to analyze your data. Coming back to the Q&A section. Are we adding this as a replay to my YouTube channel? I believe we would be, yes, unless you're going to tell me I've done something weird that I shouldn't have. No, it should be going up there, man. That's absolutely fine, Anthony. All right, so there is VEMA Trader in action. We have gone through how to visualize your trades. We have shown how VEMA can execute your trades. We've shown how you can monitor your trades on the dashboard. What we did not cover is how when a trade is in action, you can move your take profit and stop loss around, and also how you can really analyze your data, which is where the big, powerful part of VEMA is going to come into play, the analyzing of your data. Let's see. So we talked about analyzing and we talked about tweaking your trade plan. Yes. So trading with VEMA. VEMA can monitor the market for you, set automated set and forget entry conditions, automatically does your risk calculation for you. Seriously, when you start using VEMA for risk calculation, you don't have to worry about it anymore. When you try to do it without it, you're going to go, how do I do this before? Inbuilt journaling and tagging system automatically captures your data and offers all the analysis tools for you to dig in to find where you're going wrong or where you're going well. We'd love to help you with that one. Access to popular charting, exchanges, risk management, journaling, and soon to be in Forex as well. Fantastic stuff. Does it work? Absolutely it works. One, the comments we had from before, but two, check out some of these selected trades that we've got here. This particular customer got themselves a 17.5% account growth in a single trade. You'll see those percentage outcomes on other exchanges, like I'm not going to name names on exchange, but someone will be 555% change. Woo! And you look at it's like 100x leverage. Those numbers mean nothing. They don't tell you what the risk reward was, and they don't tell you what the actual account growth was. It's just a big, pretty number. Whereas here, The numbers you're seeing in VEMA Trader here, they are actual account growth. Someone put 1% on their account and they grew it 17.5%. So they put $100 on the line. They just made themselves $1,700.50. It's pretty sweet. This particular customer here made 34.5% account growth in a single trade using VEMA Trader. You can see here on the chart, there was where they created the trade. There was their entry date time. There's where they exited the trade. So these trade cards, as you see them, they're not faked. They can't be faked. They are done by VEMA to say, here is what the trade actually did, which is pretty wonderful. And this one here, Jamie and Joel Carpenter, my heroes, they did do a trade where they got 642% account growth in one trade. Holy shish kebab. It's pretty damn amazing. Now, anyone looking at this one might go, how do they get an 80-to-1 trade with an account risk of 1%, getting to 642? No, they risk 5% of their account on this trade, but they have their reasons for that. Yeah, so, and they managed the crap out of this trade. You can even see the initial stop loss was down here where the entry was, and then the stop loss is all of a sudden in profit. What happened there? They've been moving the stop loss up over time, which is pretty wonderful. All right, so if you're sitting on the fence, stop sitting on the fence. Take your trading seriously. Go to vematrader.com/price. vematrader.com. Click on the sign up button. Sign up, trade, and just by trading the way you usually are doing it, VEMA's automatically going to analyze for you, and it'll help you find where you can be improving or where you're going really, really well already. Awesome. So with that, guys, sign up, trade, find your edge. How much does it cost? If you want a paper trade, it's $29 a month. If you want to use it for live trading, $99 a month. These are all Australian prices. We've also got a pro yearly option as well, where you can pay for the year up front, and it works out to be $82.50 per month, paid 10 months, pay 10 months at once and get 2 months free. Scan the QR code. That is it from me, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on, and I hope you have learned something, seen how VEMA Trader can help you today. If you have any questions, throw them in the Q&A or otherwise get in touch. Richard@vematrader.com. We've got our Facebook page. Man, we've got all the socials. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. And I'm going to go check out the Q&A from...
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you so much, Kate, for telling me my microphone stopped. Pleasure to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Good night.
Arnold Belmar, following previous questions on leverage, I'm sometimes getting liquidation alerts for perp isolated positions emails from OKX, usually when leverage is high, saying position will be liquidated if my margin ratio drops below 100%. My stop loss in VEMA is always 1%. Yes, absolutely. What's happening there is I need to get back into VEMA. Which of these is that? This one. Here, start charting. 1, 2. Oh, wow, it's really getting out of that resistance zone. Nice. Let's go and draw a chart over here. There we go. Say that was our alpha line. You know what? We've got an alpha line. Why don't we just use the alpha line? And your stop loss was down here. We go red and dashed. Here we go. Arnold, if you go to your trades that are giving you that, OKX is going to send those all the time for you, because they're going to say, hey, just letting you know that price is currently kind of close. It hasn't touched, but it's getting close-ish to your liquidation area. If you go into VEMA Trader and you look at the trade, we'll have drawn a yellow line on there if we think it's an issue, where we'll draw another line here saying what the liquidation price is. In fact, if you go into a trade, let's see if I just do it for you now. I don't know if we show it on a paper trade though. BTC. If you're on a trade and you scroll to the very bottom of your risk details area, then we'll give you a liquidation price. On a live trade, then you'll see a liquidation price here, which gets updated every couple of seconds. We go to the exchange. What's the current liquidation price? We check, is it close to your stop loss or where current price is? No. All right, cool. Not really a problem. But the way that we set these is that if we find that the distance between the stop loss and the liquidation price is ridiculously close, then VEMA's going to de-leverage your trade. And when we de-leverage things, that's going to move your liquidation price away. But by doing that, what we're also going to do is increase your position size so that the account risk is still 1% if price hits your stop loss. But yeah, so we there in VEMA, when we go ahead and enter a trade, we've got an idea of where we believe that liquidation price is going to be. If we enter a trade and we find that your liquidation price, I'm assuming long in this example here, and we see that your liquidation price is on the wrong side of stop loss, oh dear, we're going to exit that trade straight away and say, no, that's not an acceptable solution. Are you getting liquidated by the exchange? Not something we want to have happen. So you will see those trades. You will see those alerts. They're coming from OKX. I would not really be concerned about them. In fact, I've got those ones turned off. You can go to the exchange and say, please stop sending me these emails. And know that VEMA has put a buffer between where the liquidation price and the stop loss is going to be. If you get liquidated, it's going to take a big move to make that happen with VEMA because we put that buffer there. I hope that answers that one for you, Arnold. Yeah, if you ever want to see it, if you want to see it in action, go to your trade in VEMA. On the left-hand side, scroll to the very bottom of risk details, and it'll give you what the liquidation price is. All right. On that note, everybody, my throat is dying from talking so much here. I believe I just double check all the questions, making sure I've answered everything. Yes. Yeah, that's all the questions. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you learned a lot and you see the value of VEMA Trader here. Please get in touch if you've got any other questions. I'd love to hear from you and have a lot of fun. Have a lovely night.